Hi, I'm Jenny. Let's take a tour. When I built this van in 2021, I had a vision of what I wanted it to look like. I had researched online all different kinds of builds and designs, wooden cabinets, different shelving units, drawers and all that. And when I went to Ikea, I found these metal lockers and I thought these were perfect. Not only do I have storage on the inside, but everything is magnetized and I can maximize the storage on the outside. And I have places to put all of my travel magnets. So as a first-time builder, with basically zero experience and having to learn everything on YouTube, I managed to find these countertops, which are actually Ikea kitchen drawer doors, and they fit perfectly on top of these cabinets, the 3 cabinets that I have. And so I was like, oh, my job is done. I don't have to sew anything. I don't have to try to rebuild anything myself. Really kind of a plug and play build in that all I had to do is find a way just to secure it to the van so that when I'm driving, questionable amount of speed down the freeway, that nothing's going to fall apart. I also have a couple different catch-alls that have various different items. So I'm always within an arm's reach of something that I need, which is really great. I also did plan for about 8 months in 2020 when I was car camping. So I would buy a few things every month, put it in a storage unit, and when I was ready to build the van, I had everything that I needed and I was able to build the van in 15 days by myself. So it was really a quick build, but it was about 7 or 8 months of planning. So one important aspect about traveling on the road is having enough power. Now, when I designed the van, I knew that I did not want a full power system. I didn't want to have to maintain it. I also didn't want to have to build it. So I decided to go with a portable power bank. And this is the Bouge RV. It's 1100 watts. And I very rarely run out of power. I also drive quite a lot. So when I'm driving, my 12-volt fridge, which is a 2-way fridge, plugs into my 12-volt charger when I'm driving, and then it plugs into my Bouge RV in the evenings. 200 watts of solar. I also have a 500-watt Jackery, which was the first power bank that I bought, and then I have a portable solar panel for that as well. So it's great. It served me well. I'm able to charge my laptop, work on my laptop in the van, able to charge my hockey puck USB lights, which is great. They come in handy when you just want to put them anywhere you need a light. They just stick up and they turn on and they're great. And I can use about 3 of these to light up the entire van. And then they're USB charged. They also have a charger within it, so they have multi-purposes. So I grew up in London. My parents were Americans who emigrated there in the 70s. Then when I was about 13 years old, I moved to California, went to high school there, went to college in the Midwest, and during my senior year, I got a job in Japan where I ended up living for 4 years, and that's when I got into travel writing. As a classically trained journalist, I wanted to be a news reporter, but as soon as I started traveling, I realized that I wanted to report about the world and take photos and all of that. So when I came back from Japan, I worked in digital media. I lived in Los Angeles for almost 10 years, and then I just decided to continue traveling. I did a lot of international travel for almost 20 years. Then in 2020, when the world shut down, I car camped for a year, and I kept seeing all of these amazing little tiny homes on wheels, and I thought, hey, I want to build one of those. So I started researching, and that's when I ended up building the van, and for the last 2.5 years I've been in van life, and it's been really fantastic. Welcome to my bedroom. It is also Beatles inspired, and I'm actually sitting on an Ikea Balcarp couch bed. And so when I designed the van, everything in this part of the van is designed around this particular couch bed. It's 68 inches wide. I had about 68 inches width in this van, and I'm also 5'8". So I wanted to make sure that I was able to sleep sideways in this van. It made a huge difference on maximizing the living area space and also giving me enough garage space to store all of my gear and toys and everything else that I use when I'm on the road. I really wanted to showcase my personality and my love for the Beatles music. So I have been finding different memorabilia as I've been on the road and also from Amazon and other places. And then on this wall, I have my travel map. And again, this is one of the first things I see when I come into the van, and I'm just reminded of all the great places that I'm able to go with a heavy right foot and a steering wheel attached to my tiny home on wheels. So a lot of times I get the question of where is my favorite national park, where is my favorite state, where is my favorite place. I wanted to go to all 89 Texas state parks, which I accomplished in April of this year. I also wanted to go to all 51 national parks in the lower 48, which I did about a month ago. I finished that, and I wanted to go to every state. And now that I've done that, it's really hard, but it's actually really easy. So my favorite national park is Isle Royale. It's for the overall experience. I took a seaplane for the first time in my entire life. I got to have a cabin in the middle of July, and I went on a beautiful hike and I saw a moose. I'm literally knee deep in whatever I'm hiking in. This is fun. And that's really one of my favorite national parks. My favorite state park in Texas is called Caprock Canyons. It's about an hour and a half south of Amarillo. It has, I think, about 150 bison, and it looks like the surface of Mars. And that is one of my favorite places to go hiking and mountain biking. And my favorite state, I don't know. It's a little bit difficult. I like different states, different times of the year. I like Texas. I really like Texas, actually, with having gone to all 89 state parks. But I don't like Texas in the summer. So that one's a little bit harder to decide on. I've lived in a few states in the country, but I'd say I like all of them for different reasons. And there's some I'd go back to more than others. When I got the van in 2021, it was $16,000, which was a bargain at the time. And because I'd been researching for about 8 months prior to buying the van, it was very easy for me to build it out. I spent probably about, I'd say maybe $8,000 total on build materials over the last 2.5 years, since I did get a lot of stuff bargain basement price. But overall, I'd say the total cost of the van was probably around maybe $24,000, $25,000. One of my main sources of income for traveling is working in digital media. So I've done this for about 17 years. I've been a website producer, website designer, app designer, and so on. So I'm able to work for a short period of time, and then I'm able to take some time off and travel. I also have another company called Hike Bike Alike, and this has been my passion for the last 2.5, 3 years while I've been doing van life. And what I do is I travel around the country bringing awareness to outdoor adventure places, organizations, national parks, state parks, to make it more accessible for disabled veterans, for people that have PTSD, who need mobility assistance, use adaptive technology, people that are trauma survivors, and just to really bring awareness to that amazing group of individuals who want to experience the outdoors as a part of healing. And that is something I'm super passionate about. I'm looking to grow that company immensely in the next couple of years. And just from traveling this year, I can see that there is definitely a gap between the adventure companies and the people that really want to participate. And I'm looking forward to seeing that gap close as we make the world more accessible. So I've been a Beatles fan my entire life, and I just gush love whenever I'm in the van. I like their music, I love their music. I've traveled internationally, and I've seen how just any kind of music has been important around the world, especially Western music. And just to be able to have this in my van and have something that's colorful and bright and show people the places I've been. They'll ask me about a magnet, they'll ask me about some of the funny jokes that I have on some of the funny magnets that I have. And it's just great that I can kind of show my sense of humor and show my travel in a visual way, which is great. Thanks so much for joining me on this tour. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is Jennie in a Van. My YouTube is Travel with Jennie, and my website is hikebikealike.com.